The infamous road to WrestleMania is getting ready to start, as its first stop will happen this Sunday with the Royal Rumble live on pay-per-view, officially beginning the road to WrestleMania, as it will determine who will be in the main event of WrestleMania getting a world title shot after the first ever 40-man Royal Rumble match. But before then comes John's Wrestling Views. Welcome. I'm your host, John. Thanks for tuning in. Focusing on Raw from Monday, going into the Rumble match, and things to look out for in the Royal Rumble is my ideals for this showing. Starting with, it was more of a who's going to get momentum going into Sunday kind of deal. Daniel Bryan and Ted DiBiase they were in a 6-person mixed tag team match, as Daniel Bryan teamed with the Bella Twins, DiBiase teamed with Maurice and Alicia Fox, but the focus wasn't really on either of them, as it was just more on the love interest that the Bella Twins have with Daniel Bryan, to result in a brawl with Gail Kim afterwards, who I guess is apparently seeing Daniel Bryan right now. It's more that entertainment value of the show, I'd say, more than anything else. Gotta find something for storyline, right? Alberto Del Rio teaming up with Sheamus against Mark Henry and John Morrison. Royal Rumble implications right there. Which resulted in Alberto Del Rio slapping on that cross armbar on Mark Henry, making him tap out. It's his destiny to win the Royal Rumble match this Sunday and go to WrestleMania to win the World Championship. Well, you aren't going to be able to toss out 39 other men by putting on an armbar. I hope you realize that, Del Rio. But then the big thing, Corre. All its members are scheduled to be in the Royal Rumble match, of course being Wade Barrett, Ezekiel Jackson, Heath Slater, and Justin Gabriel. Nexus. All their members scheduled to be in the Royal Rumble match. Of course, CM Punk, David Otunga, Husky Harris, Michael McGillicuddy, and their newest acquisition, Mason Ryan, as their primary focus is to see that CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble match. As they'll kind of lay down their spots for every year, they'll help them, but in the end they'll make sure that Punk wins. Corre's focus is that one of their members wins, and CM Punk does not win, as they will look to eliminate Punk specifically. Then you got John Cena in the mix, who's wanting to win for himself. So the general manager is going to be like, hey, how about CM Punk and Barrett have a match tonight where the losing team members will not compete in the Royal Rumble match this Sunday. Oh, and to spice things up, why don't we throw John Cena, a man who has had history with both men, we'll throw him in as a referee. John Cena has the attitude of, I really don't want any of these guys in the Rumble match. So what does he do? He was very careless as a referee, slapping both competitors, being distracted by signing autographs for fans. In the end, calling a double disqualification, claiming that it's a PG show and both men use a ton of profanity, which is unacceptable, so nobody goes into the Rumble match. General manager doesn't see it the same way, Cena. So now everyone from Corre and everyone from Nexus are indeed in the Rumble match, and Cena is, as long as he apologizes to both Barrett and Punk. Cena does so. Nexus and Corre, none of them happy with Cena for what he did in that match. They're going to all gang up on Cena alone, which causes a big show and a mob of a ton of other superstars to come out, all of which are scheduled to compete in this Sunday's Royal Rumble match. A huge melee, everyone trying to one-up each other, gaining that momentum into the Royal Rumble match. And then on the other side of things, Edge makes his return to Raw after attacking a computer that the general manager sends his emails to the last time really seen on Raw, as it was going to be him and The Miz in a champion versus champion match, resulting in disqualification as Dolph Ziggler interfered as he's facing Edge this Sunday in the at the Royal Rumble, and Randy Orton then going into A, help Edge, but B, attack Miz as he's wanting that momentum going into his title match. And then, of course, this was all after Edge was successfully able to defeat Jack Swagger, Drew McIntyre, and Tyson Kidd in the over top rope challenge, as their intention was, from what the general manager said, whoever throws Edge out of the ring would get that coveted 40th spot in the Rumble match. Well, so Edge dealt with that, then goes on to have a great match against The Miz that was thrown out, leading to this Friday on SmackDown, The Miz and Dolph Ziggler to face Edge and Randy Orton. Technically, the return of Rated RKO should be a good match, but now back to the Royal Rumble. Who to look out for in the Royal Rumble match? The big rivalry going into there is CM Punk and John Cena. They're two of the likely candidates to win. I'm not planning on seeing either of them win. It's clear that they're going to probably continue their feud to WrestleMania, but Cena will probably, eliminate maybe a couple members of Nexus. I don't think all of them. And then he'll probably even eliminate Punk. That's not going to be happy. And then they'll just do the classic thing in a Rumble match where like Punk gets eliminated and then comes back in and throws Cena out and they have a big brawl on the outside. Don't plan on seeing anyone from Nexus or CM Punk, or John Cena win. Corre, kind of the same boat. I don't really see, obviously most likely of those four to win the Rumble match would be Wade Barrett. But there's a lot of people gunning against him, too, from his days as leader of the Nexus. But then you have to keep in mind of Royal Rumble possible returns. Could we see the return of The Undertaker this Sunday? He's got beef against both Wade Barrett and, of course, his brother Kane, who's also scheduled to compete in the Rumble match. So, yeah, I mean, Undertaker, the biggest of those names. The Big Show's another one who clearly has beef with the Corre now. And then, of course, Big Show, he's one of those forces in the Royal Rumble match that's always a force to be reckoned with, yet isn't going to win it all. And I'm expecting no differently this Sunday. Alberto Del Rio's another one to look out for in the Rumble match, as he's shouting out more than anybody that is his destiny to win the Rumble match. Well, I'm not banking on him either. He's too new, not ready to main event WrestleMania yet. John Morrison's on the rise, though. Well, but did you all see when he went to attack Sheamus on the outside on Monday night? He looked like to have some sort of leg injury, as King word it as a hyperextension. He should be alright, at least alright enough to compete, but one would assume that even if he has a brace, that will just go against him. I'm expecting him to put on a great performance, but not win it all. Those are some of those people to look out for. Honestly, I'm still banking on the return of Triple H, though, is a big thing. And with the return that big, almost a year of being gone, granted, they're going to want him to rival with Sheamus. Right now, my money is on Triple H to win this Sunday, if you're going to ask me. But I'm expecting a great match, full of surprises even to me. And really, it's up in the air who could win. It's harder to predict this year. But like I said, 40 men, expect a great match. SmackDown's this Friday, though. Let's see who gains momentum going into the Royal Rumble, as SmackDown's their second to last stop before the Royal Rumble, because plan on seeing another episode of John's Wrestling Views before the Rumble, as I'll give my last minute synopsis on what could happen. But until then, thanks for tuning in to this episode. I'm John. Have a good one.